Hello, everybody. We are going to head and get started in just a few minutes. We're going to give another minute or two for the rest of all these great agents out there to join us. I'm going to bring in our special guest, Lauren and Faith, and we have Jess from our team who's going to be monitoring the chat and letting us know if there's anything super pertinent to the conversation that we need to get included. All right. All right. Hello, ladies. We are recording this, so just a heads up. So we'll have it to share out with everyone who unfortunately had a scheduling issue or wasn't able to make it. So I was just telling everyone
Awesome.
we're going to give them a second just to get situated and have a few more people hop on, and then we're going to go ahead and dive in.
Sounds like a plan. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So just a little small talk before we get started. What platforms do you guys think people are using the most?
I would say it depends on your demographic. I would say probably Facebook and Instagram. And then if you're in the younger demographic, probably TikTok. And if you're in the recruiting side of things, probably LinkedIn for that.
Got it. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I've heard that LinkedIn is becoming the number one spot for engagement. I saw,
Oh,
yeah, I saw some stats out there saying that the engagement rate on LinkedIn was like 6% compared to Instagram being like 1.5%.
wow.
So
Yeah,
if
I've
you're
been
not,
That's
using
kind of
LinkedIn.
surprising.
yeah. So if you're not on LinkedIn yet, you should be. You got to get on it.
You should.
Yeah, for real. All right, so we are increasingly climbing the numbers of participants that we have on the webinar. So we're going to go ahead and start to dive in. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your busy schedules and joining us today for our Social Media Made Simple Mastermind. We're going to be talking all things from strategy to different types of SEO to a little bit of things like branding and how it's really not just about your headshot or your logo. Um, so today we have Lauren and Faith with us. They're going to give a quick introduction and kind of just talk about what they do and how they're making moves in the mortgage space. I'm Haley. I am the social media manager here at Annie Mac. I've also been a realtor for 10 years, so I know the thick of it. I know all the boots that you guys are in and the different things that you're seeing out there. I'm seeing them too. So these masterminds are for you guys so that we can navigate this crazy market, constantly changing market together. All right. So Faith, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about what you do and why you love it.
Awesome, no problem. So I'm Faith Stinson. I'm the regional marketing director for IndyMac Home Mortgage Momentum Group. I've been in the marketing space for a little under a decade now, which is kind of crazy to say, although it might not face some of you guys who have been in the industry for 20 plus years. I've done a little bit on the mortgage side, and I did intern shortly at a brokerage, a real estate brokerage, where I helped with social media and boosting the online engagement. So I've done everything from graphic design to content creation, paid advertising, event planning, the whole nine yards. So I've kind of seen it all and have a good idea about what is working and what is not. I would say what I love the most about this mix of experience is that I've gotten to work with people who are fresh in the business, never touched social media, or people who have been in the business 20 plus years and are very prominent on social media. So I have the privilege to work with a lot of individuals and gain inspiration from them so I can better help you guys, go out and do the same. So um I would say one of the biggest takeaways that I see is, when you commit to showing up and being consistent, that's when the real growth happens. So you can't necessarily post one thing and think, oh, my business is going to explode. It doesn't work like that. And you have to be okay with the fact that your first post might not get the most engagement. Like it might take 10, 15, 20 posts until you really start seeing those results. And you just have to be patient. So it's not about being perfect. It's about building connections and showing people who you truly are. Um,
Yeah,
I do have one thing I want to mention that I really want you guys to kind of think about as we go through this webinar. It's if you knew that that post, that video, that comment was going to gain you a new deal, a new relationship, would it change your perception on social media? Would you stop seeing it as less of a stop seeing it as less of a chore and more as an opportunity to grow your business and success? So that's the mindset that I see working, and really urge you guys to really think about that as we go through our strategies.
yeah, great. And 100%, it really makes a difference thinking it
Yeah.
could be just that one comment that does it all, that gets you that next deal. Lauren, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what you've been doing over here at Annie Mac and making waves.
Of course, Haley. My name is Lauren Dione. I am a business development manager at Annie Mac, and I actually work in video content creation for loan officers and agents. So what I've been doing as of now is going into loan officer offices and real estate offices and helping people be more comfortable in front of the camera and making videos. I first started off in the real estate industry as okay, the dog's barking. So I first started off in the real estate industry when I was 19 years old. I started off as a loan officer, and then I was making a lot of video content myself, building my own brand as a loan officer, and the company loved it. So I actually moved more into the marketing space because they wanted me to help everyone else in the industry make videos and feel comfortable doing so. So it's been awesome. I love it. And yeah, there's so much potential in the real estate industry, and people are not taking advantage. So that is what I'm here to help.
Yeah, no, all good things for sure. We have Faith, who's a little more on the corporate side, and Lauren, who's working more with the loan officers and with the realtors, the boots on the ground, kind of getting them comfortable and familiar with the social media world that is always different every day. So we're going to talk a little bit about personal branding and social media as well. When it comes to personal branding, it's not just about a headshot and a logo, it's not just about posting cute things and having a good time. You really want to make sure that you're giving an experience to people that are finding your social media. You want to make sure that you're giving a perception that you're trustworthy, that you're being honest, knowledgeable, that you're approachable. It's not just fun and games, as much as we want to say it's here to have a good time. It doesn't have to be a full-time job though. Real estate, as we know, is about building relationships. It's a relationship business. So you want to make sure that you're being recognizable and that you're being memorable. And a lot of times nowadays, people, the first thing they do is they search for your Facebook and they search for your Instagram. So if you are putting your best foot forward on those platforms and really talking about the real estate world and being that go-to person, then the business is just going to start to flow. So a lot of times people don't automatically choose, quote unquote, the best agent, or who their mom worked with or their cousin. If they find you on Instagram, they're going to work with you because they like you as a person. So when we're talking about branding, we're talking about social media being made simple, we're talking about making sure that you also have some personality in there, some personal posts, a little bit about you, not just FHA loans, rates are this, and that the mortgage space is going this way or that way. So, Faith, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing out there and some stuff that's working for some of the people that you're working with.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did want to share a social media success story from one of our Cash to Keys events that we hosted. And again, this can apply to whatever event that you may host. So we did a Cash to Keys presentation back in January. It was in Providence, Rhode Island, beautiful venue. I think we had about 100 agents there, and everyone in the crowd was taking selfies, posting pictures of the food spread, which was amazing, and taking videos of, the keynote speakers and educational content as far as Cash to Keys goes. And I do run the Momentum Group, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I can vividly recall getting probably about 5 DMs from different realtors who weren't able to make the event, and they were like, oh, like, let me know when your next event is, like, I would really love to come. And even some of them were like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. So that was kind of like a wake up call for me where I was like, oh, wow, maybe I should have put this out there more ahead of time promoting the event, even though I think I did a couple posts, but sometimes you can really just go crazy and just promote it because not everybody is going to see everything you do. So sometimes more is more. You know what I mean? So that was an awesome success story that I kind of really realized the value of social media to, not only promote your brand, but, show your value to your clients and that you're out there in the community learning and providing more value to the people you do business with. So
Yeah.
that's a story that I have. I know Lauren had a success story, and then I can kind of pick back up afterwards as to what I've seen, being successful.
Yeah, really quick though, I just want to comment. You said more is more. On
Yeah.
social media, we're finding that these algorithms that everyone's always talking about, and they're always different, they're always changing almost every day, it feels like. But sometimes posting, she made a couple of posts, there was probably a couple of people that didn't see them, and maybe that one more time could have been the algorithm that brought them to see that one and maybe attended that event. I hope it
Yeah.
to another one though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, we had them at the next one. I feel like as individuals, we're all kind of taught like, don't bombard social media, like people are going to get annoyed with you. And that's true to a certain extent, but for my page that I run, I post almost every single day and am doing multiple stories a day and can't say I've lost any followers. So, knock on wood, we'll see, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah. Lauren, tell us a little more about what you're seeing too.
Absolutely. So my success stories, we actually this past week had a loan officer. Me and her filmed a video. It was a funny trend going on. We did it in one take, and the video went viral on TikTok, of all places. She got 26,000 views in a day and over 600 likes and tons of interaction. So she's really happy about it, excited, and it just shows that you really never know what video is going to do good, and just being authentically yourself really does make a difference and reaches people. Another instance, actually, lead wise, is one of our loan officers posted a video of him just spreading some information about loan programs and was being himself in the video. And it was a fun video to watch. And one of his old real estate partners that he hadn't worked with in years actually commented on the video and shared it because she enjoyed it. And then was just had him top of mind that week and had sent him 3 leads just that week, just from him being in front of her on her phone. Yeah, it made the difference.
Yeah, 100%. And to talk on that too, it's as simple as, wishing someone a happy birthday, or even commenting on a photo of their dog. Oh, your dog is so cute. That could be a friendly reminder, that you sold them a house 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and then that same time, they're thinking of someone who wants to sell or wants to buy, you could be that first person that comes to mind because you wish them happy birthday or you said their dog was cute. People want to feel special. So it definitely makes sense for sure. Lauren, with you so clearly being young, tell us a little bit about how
What
you.
about me?
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, me too with my moisturizers. Tell us a little bit about how you can show up confidently and how you're helping people talk honestly about what is going on and to be not just confident, but knowledgeable at the same time.
Definitely. So when I talk about confidence on camera, people don't like making videos, and my job is to get people to make videos, of course. My biggest advice to anyone is that to get comfortable doing something, you actually have to go out of your comfort zone and practice doing it. So the advice is to just do it. Go and make that post. Stop worrying about having to, you don't have to make it harder than it is. You don't need to go put on a cute outfit, do your hair, do your makeup, have your whole script written out. Like just say what's on top of mind. You had a recent experience that went well, share it. You have a funny story that you think would do well and want your friends and family to know on social media, tell them. If you have a helpful tip that you think real estate agents should hear about, share it. I mean, it makes all the difference just not worrying about what other people think. I mean, realistically, we are all our own biggest critics. Nobody is as worried about you as you, and we're all doing it ourselves. So, I mean, you have to put it aside, put your feelings aside for your own business, because once you start doing it, you're going to start feeling good about it. You're going to see the success doing it, and you're not going to feel that way anymore. So it really does just, it's that simple. You just have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And it can be as simple as, like Lauren just said, sharing a story from an experience, or you had a couple of showings and you want to tell everyone about the showings. So, Faith, you had mentioned earlier about consistency with posting. Tell us a little more about that, and posting on your stories frequently and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I think a big thing that I see is working is interactive content on stories. So whether it's a poll or a quiz or sliders in your story that are going to get people to engage, I think is what I've been seeing, you know, to be very successful. It kind of takes a break from the usual posts that you may be doing about a new loan product or this new listing you have. So I think that's a big one. And then I think another thing I've seen working pretty well is behind the scenes transparency. So, a good analogy I like to use for this is think about like reality TV, right? Maybe you don't watch it, maybe you do, but the reason why people watch reality TV is because it's a fantasy, right? Like they love to see the behind the scenes of these people's lives and what they do because, in a way, it's so foreign to us that it's interesting, right? So, think about it if you're a realtor, right? You're going to tour a house and you see a beautiful kitchen or you see a beautiful garden. And then think about those potential first time home buyers who are dreaming of that kitchen, who are dreaming of that garden. I mean, I know I am myself. Like they're going to see that and they're going to be like, man, I want that. And it's just going to create that interest, that fantasy, right? That doesn't have to be a fantasy, right? Because you're a realtor, we're lenders, we're here to help them. So eventually that's going to keep ringing in their mind and be like, oh wow, maybe that is achievable for me. And then that's when the educational pieces come in to then kind of piggyback off of the fun stuff, right? Where it's like, oh, we have this loan program that you don't need to have 20% down. Like you can have the house of your dreams. So it's everything kind of working together to eventually place that idea into their minds of maybe that can be me too. So that's a big thing, I think. Something else I like to say is, social media and branding is just as much marketing as it is psychology, right? Like we get so wrapped up in our everyday lives of working in the industry that everything becomes so repetitive to us that we don't realize the perception of the public that it's fun, it's interesting. Like I will say, and some of my lenders might get mad at me, but you guys as realtors actually have a leg up because you have the more fun side of the business. Like you get to go tour houses and do the fun stuff, right? We're kind of behind the scenes, on our laptops and doing paperwork that it's just you guys have an interesting angle that can be utilized on social media. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, we don't want to say it's the easier thing, but it's the more content worthy thing,
Yeah.
where our LOs and all of the people kind of behind the scenes are usually at the computer, where they're in their car going to and from, where us as realtors, we're in those pretty houses and we're meeting with clients, and we're doing previews and doing all of that stuff that is a bit more content worthy for people that are either in the space for a house or maybe not quite there yet, all of that exciting fantasy building things like Faith is just talking about. I think that it definitely makes a difference. And the story stuff could be very, very useful. If you're not sharing a story a day, like, did you really check into work today? So if someone's searching for your business and they go to your Instagram and you don't have a story, some of them might be a little wary, like, oh, was Haley working today? Like, is she doing anything today? So I would suggest sharing a story, even if it's just you getting started with your coffee at your computer in the morning, or if you're getting in the car to head out to a couple of showings or you have a home inspection or something like that. I think there's, like Faith said, the behind the scenes stuff is what people want to see. Definitely. And then that healthy mix of the behind the scenes, the educational, the funny, the exciting, the heartwarming, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. Lauren, so you're talking about TikTok and some fresh ideas. Can you share some of those with everyone on the call?
Sure. So ideas for real estate agents, I tell people all the time, like you want to think about who your audience is. So if you're working with more buyers, you're working with more sellers, if your friends and family are the people who are interacting with you on social media, target the people that you want to target. And don't be afraid when you're making these videos to give a call to action. People are afraid to ask for business because it's nerve-wracking, right? And it's easier to make a video and just leave it at that than to actually end the video with hey, please share this. If this doesn't like necessarily reside with you, if you're not in the situation to buy or sell right now, most of the people that are on our social medias are a great amount of it is friends and family who follow you already. Ask them to share your posts, give them that call to action. Share my post with anyone on your feed, and I might be able to help them out myself. And then now they're sharing your post because they want to support you in any way they can. And think about it realistically. Let's say that each person gets around 500 people that view a post they make. Each person. If you have 500 people that normally view your video and you give a call to action asking for people to share your video, let's say 10 people, 10 friend, family, 10 people share your video, and they each have 500 people who are going to view their post. You have now made your reach go from 500 people to 5,000 people. It is seriously that simple on social media. Something that would seem so far out of reach in person is being made way more possible on social media, and it is so important to take advantage of it. I actually wanted to share as well a statistic that I found. 44% of buyers right now say that they're more likely to hire an agent based off their social media presence. And this was a research study done by Zillow themselves. And if you're one of those people in the industry, I just wanted to say this now because I know that some people feel iffy about social media. And if you're one of those people in the industry that thinks social media doesn't impact your business, I hate to say it, but you're wrong. And my advice to you would be, don't let lack of comfortability and knowledge of social media hold you back from succeeding. Take the jump, take the step, reach out to any of us for help about it. I mean, we're here to walk you through, and it's worth it to give it a try. Be more knowledgeable on it. Go out of your comfort zone, but it's worth it. And social media is changing the game for people. And that's the younger generation. That's the up and coming buyers, everyone.
Yeah, 100%. While we're talking social media and extending all of that reach, tell us your handles in the chat so we can start a little following spree, give everyone a boost in followers and we can start engaging with each other, because all it could take is a couple of comments to make someone look a little more credible or to congratulate someone on a recent closing and bring that out to a new set of buyers in your area, So go ahead, drop your handle for Instagram, or if you want to put your Facebook, anything like that in the chat so we can go ahead, start following everyone. And it's going to be great. So Faith, tell us a little more about how you are using scheduling platforms and things like that, and some batching content to try and make this seem a little bit easier for social media and less of, quote unquote, a full-time job.
Absolutely. So I'll just backtrack a little bit and touch on the collaboration piece. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but on Instagram and Facebook, there is a collaborator feature where if you turn that on and collaborate with the person who you did that deal with, who you made that video with, or who you were at an event with, that post is going to show up to their entire feed. So not only yours, but also theirs. And it is going to double, triple the amount of exposure that you're getting on that post. So if you're not doing that, 100% hop on that bandwagon because it will skyrocket your views and your engagement. And it will also people will see you as, a professional who are working with other local professionals. It's going to increase your integrity and trust online to see that, you are collaborating and you are involved in the community. So you can also do joint lives, like do a live together, do a Q&A session on market trends or local listings in the area, that sort of thing. Co-branded posts. We have a ton of tools here at Annie Mac where we can co-brand with you guys and post it on your behalf and get that out there, whether it's a closing, a new review, an open house. Every little bit matters. So that's kind of the gist of what I've been seeing. I mean, the bottom line is collaboration doesn't just create content, it creates credibility and reach. So
Right.
when done consistently, it's one of the simplest ways to grow your network and business without working harder, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's super easy to collaborate with people on Instagram specifically. Instead of adding them as a tag, you just add collaborator and they'll get a notification on their end that says, Faith Stinson asked to add you as a collaborator on this reel. You can watch the reel if you're comfortable with it. Go ahead and accept the collaboration, and then it will show up on your profile. So that also gives a little bit of variety on your profile. And it's not just, you in kitchens or you hanging out with your family and things like that. It can kind of switch it up and make your feed and your grid look a little more, like we said, credible and a little more exciting.
Yeah, and in the spirit of, working smarter, not harder, what you were saying, Haley, about using the planner feature to go ahead and schedule content out. In Meta Business Suite, if you guys are familiar, it connects to both Facebook and Instagram. You can go into the Meta Business Suite planner and plan out content for as many weeks as you have time to do. So if you tell yourself, all right, Monday morning or whatever morning where you seem free during the week, take it, take some content, go to your partners and say, hey, I'm batching out content for the next couple weeks. Would love to collaborate with you. Send me over a post and we can collaborate on it. You can schedule that content out for weeks to come, so you don't even need to worry about it. You don't have to wake up in the morning and be like, oh shoot, like what am I going to post today? It's that easy. So I think the planner feature is one of my favorite things. We get so wrapped up in our day-to-day world that, social media can't take a back burner, but let's use it as a tool to grow that business and not have to make it complicated.
Yeah, 100%. And there's other scheduling platforms too. I know Canva offers scheduling that you can do right through there. They have it's a free platform that you can use to not only schedule content, but you can also do a little creation in there, which can be fun and get that creative side going. I know Lauren and Faith, we were talking the other day about all of the templates and stuff that they have and the different prompts, and they have constantly adding new features like with AI and all of that good stuff too. Speaking of AI, Lauren, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with AI on the regular, kind of help yourself out a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been advising real estate agents who are struggling to come up with caption ideas. Take that stress off you and give it to AI, ChatGPT, whichever one you use. They come up with great captions you can copy and paste and make the process simpler. People don't like to take the time to do it and make the social media posts. Save yourself that time. Have ChatGPT do it. Same thing with video ideas. You brought up video ideas. Honestly, just whatever works for you, whatever resonates for the person is what you should post. So knowledge that you feel is most helpful, put it into ChatGPT, see what it comes up with, get some brainstorming going, get some ideas rolling, and then just go off of based off what you know.
Mhm.
Is the most authentic, and don't read off scripts. I know it's tempting, everyone, but the content is so much better and comes out way more, the reception's better when you do it yourself, and people know you. People know how you talk, your personality, and they want to see that from you on social media just as much as in person.
Yeah, exactly. So ChatGPT can generate some ideas for you, give you a good
Absolutely.
starting place, and then you tweak it, you make it your own, if you don't say some words that ChatGPT had mentioned, switch it up. And of course, I don't know if anyone knows, but take out the hyphens. That is a big tell that you are using ChatGPT. And everyone, of course, we're talking about authenticity. So use ChatGPT to generate some of those ideas and to give you a starting place, but then always go in and take out the big hyphens and add in some of your own tweaks in there as well.
Yeah, another note on that too, as far as authenticity goes. ChatGPT, when you ask for a social media caption, loves to give you like a million emojis in your caption. I would say let's scale that down a bit and like cut it in half, maybe even a third, because we don't need all the emojis. So that's a pro tip right there. The second I see all those emojis, I'm like, ChatGPT, nope.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag.
So that's pro tip right there.
Yeah, so keep those little things in mind when we are working with AI. Keep in mind that it is AI, you know, and people, they want to see us, they want to be the authentic self on there. Lauren, are you batching content at all?
So absolutely. I recommend to do video series that people, your viewers, can go back, rewatch old videos from the series. Once you get someone interested in the topic you're talking about, they'll look forward to the next week when you tell them about part two or part three or the different topics that you have about the subject. I mean, it's a way to get people to want to keep coming back for more, want to listen to what you have to say. And it's something you can put out once a week to keep people engaged in your social medias and the things you're posting. And then again, it's a way to keep yourself continuing to post consistently on social media. So I would say absolutely. If you have a video series that you can come up with, something that you're interested in, even like you can make it a personal series that people look forward to. Like what we're barbecuing tonight. I mean, something fun. Um, and then sprinkle in your little real estate fun facts in there, however you want to do it. But people want the interesting, something to come back to later, something they can go and look on your page for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
It's really beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. Now, would you recommend, or are you seeing people do this a lot, where they're creating 5 to 10 videos like at once in a day? Do you think that that's super helpful? And I mean, a great way to schedule stuff out, you know, if you're creating a couple of videos at once. So do you recommend that, would you say?
Yes, so I do, that's my job, is I go in to meet with real estate offices, the agents in there, and I'll have them do 5 or 6 videos with me. A lot of the times they'll bring changes of outfits, changes of clothing, so you don't necessarily, we'll switch up the locations a little bit so you don't know it's from the same day. But if you just set aside that time that day, puts a lot less pressure on you. You just, I'm gonna get it done today, get it done. I edit all the videos for you, so if you work with me personally, editing is really time consuming and is another reason why people don't like to make videos because it's really time consuming and you want to be out showing houses and talking to clients, which is just as important. I would say, yeah, it's super beneficial. Get it all done in one day, saves you time, and then you're able to schedule out on Facebook, Instagram. You can schedule your posts. So you go in, schedule them all this week, next week, the week after, and then you're good to go. You don't have to think about it twice, and you're all done and can go and continue with the rest of your work for the week.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Faith, managing a corporate page, what do you
Yeah.
see gets the most interaction? Would you say reels, carousels? Like, what do you think?
So definitely Reels, but hands down, what I would say gets the most engagement is the celebratory posts. So, um, when our loan officers meet a milestone or something very impressive happens, like social media is a place for celebration. So don't be afraid to celebrate yourself because people are going to hop on and they're going to hype you up. And that's what I see getting the most likes and the most engagement is, when I'm tagging the loan officers or the realtors and, everyone's in the comments like, congratulations, well deserved. Like that is hands down number one. I would say number two would probably be post from events. So another thing that has that personal touch. They see the team, they see the people that they know on a personal level or a business level, and they're like, oh, those are my people. They like it, they engage with it. People want to see you, see what you're doing. So events is another huge way to get yourself out there. Even if you're not hosting it, you're just attending it, a networking event or a Christmas party, like post pictures of you and your partners and your friends, and it's going to get a ton of engagement. And then again, tag them because boom, all of their friends are now going to see that post and it's going to reach an exponential amount of people. So those are the two I see the most on top of reels, of course, which is, always important.
Yeah. Well, people come on social to be social, you know,
Yeah.
not everyone wants, I mean, of course we want to come on, we want to learn and all that good stuff too, but we want to see people. You know, that's one thing that social media, I don't want to say has replaced, but has definitely lent a hand and taken some of the interactions that we're not getting on the regular as we were a couple of years ago. So I
Mhm.
definitely think like Faith said, sharing stuff from events, sharing your milestones and all of that good stuff is definitely going to be the thing that gets the most interactions.
Yeah.
Um, Another statistic would be that they say that reels are for new people. So that's if you're trying to interact with new clients and find new people.
Yeah.
They say that carousels help cultivate your current following and stories as well. And that's where you can do a lot more of like teaching and things like that because you have the option to spread it across a couple of different posts or pages. And then static ones are good for people that are already following you. So that's how you can help build the relationship. So pictures of you with your dog or pictures with you at a holiday party or, you know, going out to a local restaurant. That's all stuff that people want to see, not just we just closed, you know? And if you do, and we do share, you know, we just closed on a house or something like that, tell a little story about the buyer or about the seller because people are more likely to look at the post and to like it if they see a little bit of meat and potatoes, not just like, we just closed 123 Main Street, like,
Yeah.
yay. Okay. So I definitely recommend that for sure. Um, Talk a little bit about engagement, ladies, and what a difference that can make, not just posting and ghosting.
Yeah, I mean, engaging with other people, like I said, it's psychology, right? Like you show someone attention, they're going to show you attention. If you say happy birthday or congratulations on your closing or oh my God, congratulations, your kid did great at the dance competition, like that makes people feel good and it's going to make them 10 times more likely to go and engage with your content. And when they go and engage with that content, their followers are going to see Lauren Dione commented on Faith's post, and then it's going to show up to their audience. So it all works together. It all works together. So that's my advice.
Yeah, I would say if you are not already liking, commenting, sharing other people's posts, especially as realtors, like share, comment on your old clients' posts, like keep your name in front of them so that when they have friends that they want to refer you to, they think of you. And showing that you're still there to support them. Like, what if they need a refinance later? Like you want, like for loan officers, I mean, it's so important to be in front of the people that you are working with. And I would say you can comment anything, but even just like, this is awesome, like, great job, like, loving this, loving the video, like, it can be super simple. You can comment emojis. I mean, it's better than doing nothing, and it helps the algorithms. Instagram, Facebook, when you're interacting with people, they actually show your content more to those people as well.
Yeah. And I would say, honestly, when you're starting out on social media, I think a good analogy is probably like, think of cold calling. Like, you might get one call back out of like 20 people that you call. But the more you keep doing it, the consistency, it's gonna start to pay off. So I think that's kind of a good analogy there where like you just can't give up. You can't do it.
Yeah. Speaking of cold calling, another thing that works for some people as well as some agents I've seen them have success with is cold DMing. So just sending a direct message to someone on Instagram and saying, "Hey, you know, I'm going to help a lot of strangers this year sell real estate or buy real estate. It would be an honor to help you meet your real estate goals in 2026." So something as simple as that, you know, it's coming from a place of caring and value and not just like, "Hey, you trying to buy a house?" You know? So saying something like that and kind of giving a little bit of extra flair to it can be something that can really make a difference and maybe make someone more likely to respond.
Yeah, I think on that note too, and this actually just happened to me on the Momentum Group page, was a realtor from, you know, a brokerage that we do a lot of business with. I've never really interacted with her on the Momentum page or anything, but it was a very good reel that she did. It was very educational, and she actually tagged our page. And if she hadn't tagged me, chances are I probably wouldn't have shared it or commented, but she took the time to like tag the page and show me that this is something worth sharing. This is educational. Use it to educate your following too. Like, don't be afraid to just tag people you don't even know. I mean, honestly, I never would have interacted with it otherwise, but I was like, okay, she's trying. I like it. I'll go ahead and share it. I'll support her. I like it. So
Yeah. Cold
yeah.
tagging. I haven't heard of that one yet.
Oh yeah.
Even tagging like the restaurant, if you go out or you go out for a coffee, you go to the same local coffee shop every morning, tag at Fahrenheit Coffee, and it'll get shared to their story. And then before you know it, more people will start to see your name. And that's the branding part that we're talking about. That's how you can build that trust and how you can build a little bit of a following, so people get excited. And when they see your face show up on socials, they're like, oh, there he goes again. Like he's out there doing a great job, selling another house, he's showing houses and all of that, make sure that you're telling stories. All right. We actually just had someone say in the chat that they did a cold DM to a realtor because the story was shared on a coffee shop's Instagram story. So see, it works. Okay. It works.
People love seeing you support local businesses around too.
Yes. Yes.
Community is huge.
While we're talking about local businesses and engagement and things like that, I want to pivot a little bit to some action items for the realtors and everyone on the call today. What you want to do to really get started and start being meaningful with your social media, aside from posting and engaging, is really start to decide what your brand is going to be. So we need to sit down. You have to define what exactly the personality is that you're going to be going for on your social pages. Do you want to be fun and casual or a little more sharp and professional? Talking about communities, do you want to be more local business focused? So you decide what exactly you're going to be doing with that, and then pick a couple of content pillars. So when people are coming to your Facebook page or Instagram, you wanted them to kind of get a feel of what they're going to be seeing. If it's going to be super personal, where you're out with your kids at the park talking about real estate, or if you are doing more behind the scenes stuff and you've got your dog with you heading out to a home inspection or something like that. Educational is another one if we're talking buyers and sellers tips, market insights, and things like that. Or like we said, community, where you can show local hotspots, people having a great time, or community events. And then also social proof. So that's like we were saying, sharing closings and client testimonials and stories and things like that. Lauren had talked about showing up consistently. You don't have to be perfect. It needs to be authentic. So if you're getting frustrated with yourself doing 5, 10 different takes, take a deep breath, take a little walk, come back, do it again. And I'm sure that 11th one is going to be the one that you end up sharing because it's going to be refreshed and perfect. All right. And then we just talked about engaging. Don't just post. Branding is a two-way street. So like we said, you have to reply to the comments that people post on yours. So make sure you're saying, thank you so much, or I'm so grateful, or we're so blessed, or anything like that. And then make sure you're DMing people back if they're sending you DMs, even if it's just like hearting your story or they're saying, this is great, respond back, because Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media platforms, they know what you're doing. They are always watching. So people that are consistently engaging and are consistently showing up are going to get pushed to the top above content that's not. So that's super important to make sure that you are engaging with your community. Like we said, authenticity is going to beat perfection every single time. Okay. Lastly, you don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. So like Lauren and Faith were saying, if you can find the people that you want to work with, that you want to talk to them. Find their pain points and tell stories about why this is working or why that doesn't work. You can use a couple of different hooks, silly things like, here's 3 things I wish I knew before I bought a house. Agents, here's 2 things that I wish sellers would do before the listing photos. Move your cars out of the driveway. Like, please move your cars out of the driveway, stuff like that. It can be fun. It can be silly. It's better to be known well than well known. So that's like what we're talking about, not being everyone's cup of tea. Find your avatar, find your people, focus on them. All right. Faith, Lauren, what do you have to add to my little action points that we just shared with everybody?
So I did just see something in the chat that reminded me, I know we wanted to talk about this. Across your social media, you should have the same handle. Okay. So if it's Faith the Loan Officer, right? Like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, it should all be Faith the Loan Officer. Okay. Because then you can take that handle, you can put it on marketing materials, find me on every platform at this name, and it is going to help with your rankings on SEO. So what that is search engine optimization. So when people look for you on Google, it's going to help create a consistent vibe to boost you up on that search. And you can go into Facebook the settings and set your username. You can obviously Instagram, it's very easy to do that. And you can also do it on LinkedIn too. So make sure that is like locked in. That's one of the most common discrepancies I see, when I'm onboarding new LOs is their handles are all over the place. So Faith the Loan Officer or Faith Loans or whatever it may be, like keep it consistent. That is so important when people are going to search you online.
And
Profile pictures help.
yeah, headshots too.
Mhm.
Your profile picture should be the same. Because like we're talking about personal branding and stuff like that, when the coffee shop shares your story to their story, you want to see, that, oh, there she is. I know, I recognize that same, classic realtor arms crossed pose. All right, Lauren, what do you have to add?
I would like to add as well, like making sure that you have a Instagram, Facebook bio. A lot of people don't know that even exists. You have a place where you can put links to all your other social medias, to your website, where people can find you and reach you, your phone number, email. The ways that people reach you should be you're right in front of their face when you're on your profile picture. I mean, that's so important.
Yeah, I've seen that a handful of times. Even working with realtors on the other end, for some reason you can't find their phone number or you're not sure. Even attorneys sometimes too. Attorneys can be tough to find emails and stuff like that. Use the links, use the platforms. They're all out there to make things easier for sure. So before we start to wrap up, is there any
little segment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right, everyone. So I want us to do a fun little thing here to practice what we just talked about. Everyone, go on your Facebook or your Instagram, your choice, but we're going to practice posting a story. So it's not a regular post, I mean, unless you want it to be, but let's practice using a story. Story is the difference between those two, real quick, for people who don't know. A story lasts for 24 hours and then it disappears. So it's what you're doing throughout the day. It's where you can share more personal stuff. And then a post you share on your page and it stays there forever. So when you go and want to post something, it should let you pick whether it's a post or a story. We're going to preferably do a story today and take a picture of us on our computer right here that you're on a webinar learning more about social media. You can put a little caption on there once you take the picture. Say whatever you'd like, but tag us so that we can share it on our stories and then everyone can go and see all the stories of everyone that was on this call today. You can go and follow each other, interact with each other. This social media game starts today. So let's get it done. Let's do it. Take your pictures of us on your screen. We'll smile for you.
And do a little pose.
Yes, and tag us.
I'm putting our handles in the chat for you guys.
So we're putting our handles, tag us on there so that we can share your posts and we want to follow you. So please tag us so we can see it. But yes, everyone practice making a story. And that would be awesome. And that's our last little segment. We're gonna go after this, respond to all of your stories, interact and everything. Please go interact with each other as well.
Yes.
But thank you everyone for listening on here. If anyone has any questions, I know for sure this is recorded.
Yeah. It'll be on our YouTube channel, probably early tomorrow. And you'll also get a recap email.
But I know for sure my DMs on Instagram, which we're tagging in the comments here, they're open. If anyone has any questions on how this stuff works, how making videos. I mean, guys, I'm the video specialist. I go into real estate offices as well. So if anyone wants me, DM me. I'll come help your group. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening on here. And if anyone has any questions, please let us know. How do you tag? So if you follow us, it makes it easier. But if you're on your story, you go into text box and you put the little @ sign. So you text the @ sign and then you can type in our names. So mine's Momentum with Lauren. So for example, you would do exactly what Faith just did in the comments. You put the little @ sign in the text and then it lets you type someone and then you just click on the name and it'll tag us. Again, if anyone needs help, if you can just take the picture for now even. And then if anyone needs help posting it, I will help you when I get off this call. So we're going to make sure everyone is set and knows how to do this so that you know how to make and post and tag people on their stories later on. This is super important. So seriously, if you guys need help, reach out to any of us.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had some good takeaways today. We'll have this out on YouTube probably early tomorrow, but have a great day. Keep getting out there. I hope everyone's business continues to thrive as we come into the colder seasons.
Thanks, everyone. Go get that
Thank
business.
you.
Bye.
Have a good one.